Hello, hello, Coach Kayla here. And I hope whenever it is that you're watching this, you're already having a wonderful, wonderful day. I know I'm back here in the Pacific Northwest after being in Arizona for 2 weeks. And let's just say, because it is currently, almost November, it's a bit of a shock to the system, the difference in weather temperature. It is cold here in Spokane at the moment compared to being in the 90s back in Arizona. So it's definitely a shock, but we are doing good. So I really want to chat with you guys today a little bit about Arizona, about 70.3 Arizona, which was the first official Ironman branded 70.3 in the United States during the COVID life that we are living. And I first just really want to say, I just feel like I have to do this. I felt so honored to be racing. I just know how many people have been I coach 30 athletes, and how many of these athletes that I work with have had to adjust it feels like every week we're having to adjust. And the fact that I had the opportunity to race just left me with such gratitude and joy and thankfulness, and I'm just so, I'm so grateful to be racing. And for me, honestly, the chance to race is the chance to race. It doesn't matter what it comes from. And it was just really great to get a chance to race in, a bigger, quote unquote, bigger Ironman branded race again, which has this excitement. It's just something different about them. And so I'm really thankful to have gotten a chance to race. So on that, Ironman as a brand really did a lot of work on their new regulations to be socially distant and fit for the times, and removing a bunch of choke points. Touch points is probably a better word than. And I, again, this is a personal opinion based off of what I experienced, but they did a fabulous job. I felt safer, quote unquote, safer from a standpoint at this race, which had triple the amount of people, than when I was doing a race about a month ago, that was much smaller. So they did a fabulous job with ensuring that they covered all their bases from a safety standpoint. So I have some more information on that on this on my YouTube channel, or this channel if that's what you're watching it on, for a little live video that I did for my Facebook team. You can go ahead and check it out. That might give you a little bit more information on how it all went from a COVID regulation standpoint and the changes that they made. I don't want to go too much into that here because I'd kill like 20 minutes of your time. So if you do want to find out more about that, go check it out. But what I really want to chat with you guys about is how the race went. It was my first, real race that I actually finished since, June of 2019, when I raced pregnant with Skyman back at Coeur d'Alene 70.3. So it'd been over a year since I raced, and it has been since about Kona 2018 that I raced not pregnant. A race that I finished. And so I was honestly, what it really came down to is the fact that I was just grateful to be out there. Yes, things felt a little bit different because it was a smaller venue, and they had to keep things a lot more spaced out. The energy was a little bit, quieter, but the actual energy of racing was still there. And in reality, here's what it came down to. I chose to make this everything that I wanted it to be. I chose to go out there and race to my heart's content and compete and complete what I was given. And because of that, I just chose to bring energy to the race. And I think that's kind of the important piece that I really wanted to chat with you about here, is this idea of you are only able to compete and complete what is given to you. Only what you have the opportunity to do. And you are the one that has to bring the energy to the situation, not the other way around. The event doesn't bring the energy. You are the one that brings the energy to what it is that you're doing. So rather than focusing on everything that you can't control, things changing, maybe bikes are getting cut short, maybe swims are not happening, or whatever it is, and instead of focusing on that and letting that be where your energy goes, Bring your own energy to what it is that you can do. The fact that we're racing, the fact that they have a course out there, the fact that, you know, you're out there with people again, and just all these things. If you can focus on those things and the things that you can control, you, yourself, your nutrition, your effort, the energy you bring, then you're going to have a fabulous day. And I honestly believe that is what did it for me. I went into this race with this goal was I'm going to give everything I have on this day, in this minute, in this moment, because I don't know when I'm going to get another opportunity to do this. You know, what life is so up in the air at the moment that I don't know. And I want to experience every ounce of it. And because of that, I feel like I got everything I needed out of the day. And it was all because I made a choice to bring my own energy to the day and not let the day be what I needed for the energy. So, you know, that was something that I found kind of was really important for me. From a structure standpoint, if we kind of work through this race, the swim was okay. I still have yet to figure out the swim. One of these days I will. I actually felt way stronger than my time shows. I was like passing people thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna have one of the best swims I've ever had. Yeah, I didn't. But that's all right. That is all right. I have gotten really, really good at just putting the swim behind me and moving forward. In standard fashion, Tempe Town Lake is disgusting. You can't see your hand in front of your face, but again, bringing energy to the race. I just didn't let that bother me. And in reality, actually, the water felt fabulous. It was the perfect temperature. Disgusting, yes, but perfect temperature. So, you know, I focused more on that rather than the fact that I, you know, couldn't see my hand in front of my face. And I had to sight a lot, which I realized I'm not very good at and need to work on. So, you know, there's that. Good lesson for that one. If we move on to the bike, this bike course is so crazy. It was 3 loops and it had so many turns, which I will be honest, I'm not a huge fan of. You just can't get into a steady rhythm, and there's a lot of like spikes and ups and downs with your power from that standpoint, because you know you're getting settled in and then you have to come up off the handlebars. These are not turns that you can stay in air on. You have to come up. They are U-turns, they're sharp turns. You drop your power completely out and then you surge. And so that was a little bit tough to manage. But if you once again go into the race knowing that that's the way it's going to happen, then you do just fine. It's a fast course, even with those having to make those surges. I still had a fairly fast bike. I was very pleased to come out of that feeling like I actually finally I could do some damage on the bike. I've always been one of those people where I kind of felt like a little bit of an imposter on the bike, because I've always felt like I'm this runner who's an okay biker. And for the first time ever, I felt like I was actually doing damage on the bike, you know, and I was getting somewhere. I honestly don't remember where I came out of the water. I think I was in like 8th in my age group and like 16th overall or something. And I was able to whittle that down to 2nd or 3rd in my age group or something like that, and 4th woman overall. And so I knew, as always, these races always come down to the run. And so I kind of set out to just, you know, run my own race. And that was really important to me. I kind of came to this, you know, had this thought, you know, Tim O'Donnell, we all know who Tim O'Donnell is. In 2018, he said that he focused on this idea of opening your heart, like open your heart and just run. And so that's what I tried to do. Open my heart and just run. I knew I didn't have 70.3 speed because I just haven't been able to hit my previous 70.3 speed. I had a bit of a rough summer when it came to running, and my speed is just not really there. And so I knew I was going to have a hard time hitting 70.3 speed. And I would just have to focus on being able to hold what I could hold as strong and steady as I could hold it. So I got off the bike and it was starting to get pretty warm. I think we ended up like hitting mid 90s, almost 98 degrees for some of the later finishers. And so it was starting to get pretty toasty, and there is no shade on this bike course. And so I really just focused on maintaining pace and saying, okay, I'm going to hold strong, I'm going to hold steady, and that is all I'm going to focus on, and just, you know, start picking people off and start going for each person in front of me. And, you know, each time I would maybe start to feel myself falter, I would use, my own, some of my own mental performance tricks. I like to talk to myself when I do these runs, and I would, say, no, Kayla, you've got this, get on pace, got to get there, get after it. It's time to light this up. And by telling myself that, it would bring it, once again, bringing this energy. All of this race, everything about this race and everything that we do when it comes to racing is all about what kind of energy we can bring to it. And when you can bring your own energy to a race, it's amazing what it can do for you. And then every time I would start to find myself like losing energy, I would turn to my mantras, I would turn to my self-talk, I would remind myself of my goals, I would kick my own ass and say, no, you have to get on it. And because of that, I was able to maintain energy throughout the whole race. And that was a big piece for me. So I think by about mile 10, I could see the girl who was in second place overall. I had put myself into third, and by mile 10, I could see her. And I was like, okay, I'm not 100% sure. I really am not sure if I can catch her. But I just kept saying, okay, no, you just got to hang in there. You got to stay right here where you are, and, keep reeling her in. And if you see it start to, see that person start to falter, then you go for it. And I saw that her start to falter, and I went for it. And here's the thing, I went for it, and then I went, oh shit, I have to hang on to this now for 3 miles. And so I kept telling myself, okay, no, you pass this person, you can't let them pass you again, you have to hang in there. And so I, really focused on hanging in tough, focused on my form, focused on being present in the moment and ignoring the fact that, at that point, my feet were starting to hurt, my shoulders were aching, legs are on fire. I'm pretty sure I had a couple blisters. Everything hurts at that moment, but it always does. Triathlon is about suffering and how much you are willing to suffer. And at that moment, I wanted it more than anything. I wanted that second place. I wanted to be second overall female, because I knew I wasn't going to catch the first overall female, and I wanted second. So I knew I had to hang in there, because if I didn't, I was going to lose what I was going for. And that to me was more powerful, so I was willing to suffer for it. So overall, it was a really wonderful day. I got everything I needed out of it, and I am just so thankful to have had a chance and an opportunity to race and to be able to kind of share that with you. So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has supported me this past year, but from my coach, Heather, who has just constantly pushes me outside my comfort zone, my amazing husband who lets me chase my crazy, all my friends and family, my athletes that I coach, you all just keep me so positive and motivated and goal-oriented, and I just thank each and every one of you so very much. The companies that have chosen to sponsor me and help me throughout this with, Infinite being some of the best nutrition I could ever have out on the course. Tres Piñas, Elise, your kit was magical and fire, so amazing. The Freshly Minted, we got Alt Red and Irwin Wheels. So I just want to say thank you to those guys as well. So, this is the time of year where we start trying to look towards the future. And the future is bright, you guys. 2021 is coming, and it is going to be magical and amazing if that's what you choose to bring to it. I think that was my biggest learning from this race, is getting an opportunity to bring my own energy, bring my own joy, bring my own gratitude to something. It was such a tough month. I had a really, really hard month leading up to this race. And instead of letting that toughness and that hardship kind of suck me in, I chose to really focus more on, again, the gratitude and the thankfulness I have to be racing. And so because of that, I felt like I was able to get everything I needed out of it. And I hope that maybe that is something that you can bring as well. Bringing gratitude, bringing thankfulness, and bringing your own energy to everything makes all of it so much more fun, because then it's what you can get out of it. You will get what you need out of it. So thank you again, everybody, for following along my journey. I can't wait to continue to share more from you. And let's get after it. And just, thank you. You are all amazing. And I can't wait to share more and see what 2021 and the rest of 2020 brings for you guys. See ya and have a great one.